is not in the polygon here. You can see the flashing red. That's the tornado warning. It's for a relatively small part of northern Marion County. So again, this is a tornado warning now for the northern part of Marion County in northwest Alabama, effective until 10:45 tonight. That's for about the next 45 minutes. This will probably be canceled before that. And there's also a severe thunderstorm warning polygon for the northern part of Marion County as well. And now we have a tornado warning in effect for the southern part of Franklin County, which is just north of Marion County, for that same possible tornado that's, again, indicated near Scottsville, which is about 15 to 18 miles northwest of downtown Hamilton. So again, if you're just joining us here, we're going to have to hold the newscast here and do some weather coverage for just a little bit. This evening, the really big issues have been up in the Tennessee Valley, in places like Decatur and Huntsville, where they've got tornado warnings in effect. But this one is in our television market. Marion County belongs to us. So again, as long as Marion County is under a warning, we will stay with this. Now, this will likely be moving out of Marion County into Franklin County fairly soon. And once that happens, that crosses over into the Huntsville television market, and we'll be able to pick up our 10 o'clock newscast. But again, we have a possible tornado now that's currently on radar about 15 miles northwest of Hamilton near Scottsville, and that will be moving up into Franklin County near Hodges fairly soon, and then ultimately perhaps near Phil Campbell. Phil Campbell is in the polygon. Hackleburg and Bear Creek also in the polygon up in the northern part of Marion County, the flashing colors of red you see there. So I know it's very inconvenient. I know it's a school night, but if you are in the polygon, we ask that you respect those polygons and you go to a safe place. Of course, the key thing is not to be in a mobile home. If you live in northern Marion County, you want to be out of a mobile home into a shelter or just some type of business or a site-built structure that offers shelter. This could be a gas station, a fast food restaurant, and obviously we don't want folks driving. The two worst possible places to be, a mobile home and a car in a situation like this. And if you're in a site-built home, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows, and you're going to wear a helmet. Most people that are seriously injured in tornadoes, it is blunt force trauma above the shoulder region. So we want people to wear a bicycle helmet. If you play sports, a batting helmet, a football helmet, a motorcycle helmet. That really offers wonderful protection. And again, this potential tornado here will likely cross over into Franklin County fairly soon. And as soon as that happens, the warning for Marion will be canceled. Now, again, Hackleburg is here. Bear Creek is right here. And I think this possible tornado is going to be passing north of those two towns, north of Hackleburg and north of Bear Creek in Marion County. But it's going to be a fairly close call. So just be aware of that. Wanted to show the Huntsville situation quickly. We've got this tornado warning that's in effect now for parts of Madison and Limestone counties up in the Tennessee Valley for a possible tornado near Madison. The circulation there is weakened, which is good news. So let me go back over to the Columbus Air Force Base radar. We'll take a look at the storms that are here. And I want to go to the velocity product, which will often tell the story. And again, what we're watching is this area right in through here, which is located to the northeast of Scottsville, again, between Mount Hope and Bethany Baptist churches. And again, you can see that potential circulation that's located right in here. And that will be moving to the northeast up in this direction here. And most likely it's going to cross the line. This is Franklin County here. This is Marion County down here. So again, that's the possible tornadic circulation. These storms are riding along a boundary this evening that's over the north part of Alabama. And all of this will be staying well to the north of Birmingham, well to the north of Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gadsden. This is a problem up in the northwestern corner of the state. So again, potential right here for a possible tornado that is in the far northern part of Marion County up in northwest Alabama. This is about 75 miles northwest of Birmingham. There's a new volume scan. I'll back it out a little bit and just kind of get your bearing straight. You can see the city of Hamilton, which is right down here. And I want to stress that Hamilton is not in the polygon. You might hear a siren, your weather radio might have sounded, but the polygon itself is for areas north of Hamilton. And again, Brilliant is down here. Of course, Guin and Winfield are off the screen. They're down to the south of that. But again, we don't have any issues at this point with the southern part of Marion County. Now, Hackleburg, you are in the polygon. right here. Of course, Hackleburg was hit by that horrible EF5 12 years ago, April 27, 2011. Bear Creek would be located right over here. So Bear Creek and Hackleburg, you are in this polygon. And again, the possible tornado is right here. I'm circling that. And that's moving to the east-northeast up in the general direction of Hodges. Hodges is in Franklin County. And again, logic here would suggest that the greatest risk of a tornado is going to be a little north of Hackleburg, a little north of Bear Creek, but it doesn't matter. These polygons are drawn for a reason, and if you're in one, all of these crazy things I say, there's a reason for that, so we want people to respect the polygon and be in a safe place. So if you're just joining us here, we apologize. We typically be in our 10 o'clock newscast. We are holding it because we're in weather coverage because of a possible tornado that is in the far northwestern part of our television market for a possible tornado that's located right here. That's in the far northern part of Marion County. This is now about 12 miles due north of downtown Hamilton. The potential tornado is moving towards the east-northeast, and it's going to be straddling the Marion-Franklin County line. And again, the larger communities now in that polygon up here in Marion County would be the towns of Hackleburg and Bear Creek. And I want to stress, again, if you are in Hamilton, Ewen, Winfield, brilliant. You are not in the polygon. There is no danger. You don't need to do anything, but just obviously watch the weather. And again, the Weather Service in Huntsville posting a warning for the adjacent parts of Franklin County. This is kind of a boundary situation where Franklin County is in the Huntsville TV market, the Huntsville National Weather Service County warning area. Marion County belongs to us, the Birmingham TV market, the Birmingham County warning area. So kind of straddling the jurisdictions here, but that's pretty good coordination. So, and again, Phil Campbell is right here. Of course, that big EF5 came through Hackleburg and Phil Campbell. Most likely, this will be taking a track a little farther north than that. And this is not going to be an EF5 tornado. This is going to be a smaller one. But understand, every tornado is dangerous. Even an EF0 tornado is dangerous. So again, and I want to stress, if you're in Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gadsden, the major population centers here, this is far, far north of you. There's no risk of any severe weather that far south. In fact, really quickly, let me pop on our tornado watch box here. This is going to be the tornado watch that is in effect until 2 a.m. And you can see the tornado watch includes Lamar, Fayette, Walker, and Cullman counties, Marshall, DeKalb, and points north. I really don't think we have problems as far south as Lamar, Fayette, and Walker. Just an outside chance. The main concern, it's really along and north of US 278. We talked about that, north of a line from Hamilton to Cullman. And again, you can see the multiple flashing polygons here. And again, the Weather Service is now calling this a confirmed tornado based on a TDS. In fact, we'll go back to the radar here and take a look at the potential debris signature here. If you're just joining us, we are, again, in weather coverage at the moment. We hope to be able to go back to our 10 o'clock newscast once we get this storm over into Franklin County, which should happen fairly soon. And again, if you look really carefully here, you can see that lowered correlation coefficient product, which is right here. And that is, so now we just got a new volume scan, so it's jumped on us a little bit. But that's the reason the Weather Service is calling this a confirmed tornado. So right here, this is the TDS, a tornado debris signature now. That is in a fairly rural part of Marion County, a little north of County Road 20. And again, that's headed up toward the community of Pig Eye. And then from there, it most likely is going to be crossing over into Franklin County. So again, this is a confirmed tornado based on tornado debris being lofted. And again, this product detects objects within the radar beam that are not hydrometeors. They're pine needles, tree limbs, maybe parts of buildings, boards and bricks and glass and nails and things like that. So again, this is your TDS right here. The community of Hodges is located right here. And again, this tornado is going to be coming out across the far, far northern part of Marion County. The community of Pig Eye is here. Hodges is here. And again, that'll be most likely passing a little north of Hackleburg and Bear Creek. But again, if you are in Hackleburg and Bear Creek, understand that you are in the polygon and you need to certainly respect that. In fact, kind of back it out a little bit and you can see the location of Hackleburg and Bear Creek. Your possible tornado is located, say possible, it is a confirmed tornado now based on the lowering of the CC right here. So there's your tornado. So Hackleburg is over here to the east and Bear Creek is over here. And again, this tornado most likely is moving in this direction like that. And again, that's going to be crossing over into Franklin County fairly soon. If you're in Phil Campbell, you've got to watch this too. Phil Campbell, you're in the polygon. Understand we have the adjacent parts of Franklin County in the polygon as well. So it's 10:07. The tornado warning for northern Marion extends until 10:45 tonight. And I think that it will be canceled well before 10:45, as most likely this tornado will be moving out of Marion County and up into Franklin County. So again, you can see we've got a tornado that's down near Mount Carmel Church, which is located in northern Marion County. And it's getting pretty close to the small community of Pig Eye, which is right here. And then across the county line, this is Hodges. Pig Eye's in Marion County, Hodges is in Franklin County. And again, that's moving to the east-northeast. And again, if anybody in Hackleburg or Phil Campbell, you know the drill, you've been down this path before, you need to stay sheltered until we give you an all clear from this potential tornado. I wanted to kind of show the reflectivity and maybe show a wider view. And again, you can see this is part of a line of storms kind of stretching into the northwestern part of the state from Mississippi. And we have 3 tornado warning polygons that are active in the state. We have the one that includes the city of Huntsville. A possible tornado was indicated near Decatur, and that circulation is now approaching Huntsville. And the reason we are here, it's for this rotation, which is in this line of storms located in far northern Marion County. And again, I'll kind of expand the view out, and you can see that for most of you, it's a very pleasant evening. It's not raining a drop. You can see Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, no rain. Gadsden, some light rain falling there. But the main problems are going to be well to the north of Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston tonight up here, mainly in the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama. We have flash flood warnings in effect, looks like, for parts of Mississippi, or aerial flood advisories, I should say. And again, there's a flash flood watch in effect for the Tennessee Valley as well. But again, it seems like down here on the southern edge of this line, we've got that circulation here. So again, that's the line segment that runs from near the Shoals, right down Highway 43 to Russellville, then back down into the western part of Marion County, down to Interstate 22 near the Alabama-Mississippi state line. And again, you can see that inflow notch that's located right in through here on the reflectivity, that notch. And let's put back on the velocity. We'll show a couple of different products here. This is storm relative velocity. And again, the circulation is not as intense as it was about 10 minutes ago, which is a good thing. It's broader. So let's look at the potential debris signature, and we're starting to lose that. Again, we're watching that broad rotation now that is in the northern part of Marion County. And again, you can see that broad rotation, which is located right in through here. And again, that's kind of straddling the Marion-Franklin County line. And again, once we get this out of Marion County, we can give you an all clear. When that happens, we'll start our 10 o'clock news. Everybody's standing by to do that. I do not think we'll be here until 10:45, but don't expect any other tornado warnings for our television market tonight. This is the one spot of trouble that's about to cross over into Franklin County. So again, what you're seeing here, this is velocity. And really quickly, let me put on the correlation coefficient product, and the TDS is just really fading, which is a good thing. Right in through here, there's still a little bit of a CC drop, but it's nothing like it was 10 minutes ago. The Weather Service tagged this as a confirmed tornado based on the debris signature about 10-15 minutes ago. But again, everything seems to be fading, and it seems like the rotation is greatly weaker at this point. And of course, if that trend continues, hopefully the Weather Service will be able to cancel that thing. So again, there's your broad circulation just to the, in fact, there's the new volume scan, and the circulation near the communities of Hodges in Franklin County, Pig Eye in Marion County. And as I always say, often we'll talk about the circulation weakening and things look a lot better, but as long as the polygon is up, and it is, you respect the polygon and you stay sheltered if you're in that. And again, this is for the north central and northeastern part of Marion County. And again, this includes the 2 larger communities of Hackleburg and Bear Creek. So if you are near those communities or anywhere up in that north or northeastern part of Marion County, stay sheltered until we can say the tornado warning is gone. It's been canceled. Or the rotation has moved out of the county into Franklin County, which is going to happen fairly soon. And quite frankly, the circulation is straddling the county line right now, the county line separating Marion County to the south from Franklin County to the north. Again, Phil Campbell is right here. And again, weather folks would know what happened with the April 27, 2011 event. The horrible tornado came from Hackleburg to Phil Campbell. That was a long track EF5. This is not a long track EF5. This is a small spin-up type tornado. But again, you can see potential for broad rotation. In fact, we're getting a new, what looks like the Weather Service is going to put out a new severe thunderstorm warning for much of Marion County. Actually, that has been in effect. That warning for Marion County will expire at 10:30. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning polygon continues to shrink as the rotation continues to broaden and move on to the east. And again, it's a broad circulation. I wouldn't say it's a tornado at this point, but it might cycle. A lot of times these rotations are cyclic. You'll see a very intense circulation for a couple of volume scans. Circulation broadens, we have an occlusion process, and it tries to spin up again, and that's what happens with these nighttime QLCS, quasi-linear convective system tornadoes. They're hard to deal with. Our friends in Oklahoma learned about these things Sunday night. They're used to storms you can see during the day with a lot of lead time. With these things, there's not much lead time. They don't last long, and they're quite a challenge for meteorologists. So again, the good news, the circulation continues to be fairly broad at this point, but it's still there. And again, you can see right in here, that's your tornadic circulation that is on the Marion-Franklin County line. And again, this is up in the northwestern part of Alabama. And once the circulation crosses into Franklin, we'll start our 10 o'clock news. And everybody in the back, just to give you kind of a heads up, I'd say we're probably about 8 to 10 minutes away from that happening. So we'll do our best to start the late news here in about 8-10 minutes from now, once we get this storm out of Marion into Franklin. And if you're watching us online in Franklin, understand we're not ignoring you, but you are in the Huntsville television market, and we all have to have defined areas of responsibility. So again, Huntsville will cover the Franklin County segment of this thing. We will cover the Marion County segment of this. Again, it's broad, but let's look at the correlation coefficient, and it's basically gone. That tornado debris signature that we had earlier, it's pretty much off the board. So it looks like a tornado did get down between Scottsville and Pig Eye up in Marion County, and it seems to have dissipated in the past 5 minutes or so, and that's great news. Here's a look at the reflectivity. In fact, I'll back out, and you can see this is part of a line of storms that's pushing into Marion County. And again, the Weather Service has blanketed the line with severe thunderstorm warnings for the chance of gusty straight-line winds, and that severe thunderstorm warning is for the northern part of Marion County. And again, even that doesn't include Hamilton, but I want to stress, if you're in Hamilton, Winfield, Ewan, Brilliant, this has nothing to do with you. This is all north of you, and you're not in danger from a tornado, and you're not in the polygon, and you have not been in the polygon. We stopped issuing warnings for counties a long time ago because tornadoes are small, counties are big, and you don't need to warn a whole county for a tornado that's small. And that's the reason for the storm-based warnings, these polygons we talk about. So again, the polygon, it's a very narrow polygon for north and northeast Marion County. And again, the two population centers involved up here are Hackleburg and Bear Creek. And the tornadic circulation is broad at this point. And again, it is in the process of moving over into Franklin County. The broad circulation is basically hugging the county line. Franklin and Marion counties. And again, this is all about 75, 80 miles northwest of Birmingham. And if you're in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, I know it's a pleasant evening. It's not raining a drop. But please bear with us. If there's a tornado warning for any county in our designated market area, TV market, doesn't matter if it's city, rural, we're going to be on the air. Every life is precious, whether you live in a city or whether you live out in the country. It doesn't matter. Every life is precious, and that's the way we do it here. But again, the news is good. And after this, I do not expect any other tornado warnings. Having said that, when it comes to thunderstorms, what do? Expect the unexpected. So this is why we want people to have a weather radio, a NOAA weather radio. So if there's an unexpected warning in the middle of the night, you will not miss it. Those things are loud. Every Alabama home needs one. And if you don't have one, you need one. They don't work on the cell network. It's like having a smoke alarm in your house for a tornado, basically is the purpose that they serve, and every Alabama home and business needs one. But having said that, I don't expect any additional tornado warnings for our part of the state. And again, you can see the tornado warning that's in effect for Franklin County goes until 10:30, and the tornado warning for Marion County goes until 10:45. But again, I fully expect that the Weather Service will be canceling the warning for Marion County here in a matter of minutes. And again, you can see that up in Franklin County, the polygon has gotten pretty small ahead of that broad circulation. And as long as the circulation looks like that, I don't think anybody will extend that. But a small part of Franklin County, including Phil Campbell, is in a tornado warning. And a small part of Marion County is in a tornado warning. This includes Hackleburg and Bear Creek. I can say with very high confidence this broad circulation is going to pass north of Hackleburg and north of Bear Creek. But hey, respect the polygon. And again, our friends at the Weather Service, the one thing they don't want to do is just yank a warning, cancel it, and all of a sudden they have to reissue the warning because the circulation comes back. They want to give it a few volume scans to be sure that it's gone to bed and it's not going to come back. So that's what they're doing at this point. And again, if we get another couple of volume scans where the circulation is broad and we don't have any sign of a tornado, then they'll cancel the warning, which should happen here fairly soon. And again, we'll take a look at our correlation coefficient product. This is what we call the debris tracker. And you see a lot of lowered spots in there. That's all noise. That's got nothing to do with debris. If we were to have a TDS, it would be somewhere right in through here, and there's just nothing there at this point, which is a good thing. And again, we'll go back to the velocity. And again, we're just looking at very broad circulation here. There's just not much evidence of any tornado issues going on right here. So again, I'm going to keep it here. I want to keep it here until these polygons are officially canceled. And again, I would say by 10:20, 10:25, they will do that. The main concern for the whole state, I should mention, is going to be Friday morning. I know that we have this event going on tonight, and we don't expect severe storms tomorrow, during the day tomorrow. We think we'll have some showers, yes. Maybe some thunder, yes. Severe weather, probably not. The next chance of severe storms after this stuff tonight will be Friday morning, and it looks like it's going to be an early morning, fast-moving line of storms, probably between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m., something like that. And the greatest concern with that's going to be very strong winds. And even away from storms, gradient winds, not convective winds, but gradient winds can be very strong. And we're concerned about a lot of power outages and a disruptive morning Friday. But that's not tomorrow, that's Friday. This is Wednesday night. So that'll be our next issue after we get this out of here tonight. And again, the rotation is very broad. And again, so far, the Weather Service has not dropped these, but I would expect that to happen fairly soon. Kind of want to show a larger view. I'll go back to reflectivity. And again, you can see this is part of a line segment pushing into the northwestern part of the state. And again, the tornado warnings, one involves the city of Huntsville in Madison County. And the one that we are here for, it's that rotation that is kind of straddling the Franklin-Marion County line in northwest Alabama. Notice that we have absolutely nothing happening if you are in Tuscaloosa, if you are in Birmingham, if you are in Anniston. It's quiet. It's a very pleasant evening. We have no trouble at all down here. And all of this activity for the next several hours will stay up north. It will begin to shift southward after midnight, but by daybreak tomorrow, when it gets down in through here, we just expect a few showers, some thunder, and nothing severe. But the tornado watch, in fact, let me pop over and show the tornado watch really quickly. This is our tornado watch in effect until 2 a.m., and this includes Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Marshall, and DeKalb counties and counties north up to the Tennessee state line. We have a flash flood watch in effect for parts of Tennessee and the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama. But again, this is a situation that should not last especially long. And again, the watch goes until 2 o'clock. And again, you can see the purple over here. That's earlier when we had the correlation coefficient lowering. We had a confirmed tornado, but now that's pretty much off the board. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now for northern Marion, for parts of Franklin, for parts of Lawrence, for parts of Colbert counties up here in northwest Alabama. But again, it just looks like we should be through with this here fairly soon. So again, let's go up into the northwest part of the state, and that's the line segment of concern. We'll take a look at the velocity product, and there's just not any evidence of a tornado there, which is great news. Still, the Weather Service offices in Huntsville and Birmingham have not canceled the polygons yet. We've got a small part of Marion County, a small part of Franklin County still under those, and I would expect them to cancel those fairly soon, in that that's really, really broad. And again, we'll check the correlation coefficient for any type of lowering, and we don't see that where there's the broad circulation. So again, there's no evidence of a tornado down at the moment, and the trends are certainly good. The rain is very heavy, and goodness, there's a lot of lightning here. We've got 95 lightning strikes just in that small spot there in the past 10 minutes. If you're in the northwest part of Alabama, the lightning has been pretty much nonstop. And again, that's going to continue tonight. These storms are going to be noisy. They'll drop a lot of very heavy rain tonight. And again, that's the reason for that flash flood watch up in the Tennessee Valley. But again, I just like what we're seeing here on the radar products, the various radar products. There's just not much evidence of a tornado. So we are optimistic that the Weather Service offices will drop those polygons. And again, as soon as they do that, as soon as Marion County, as that one goes away, we'll start our 10 o'clock newscast. And everybody's waiting, and we're still going to hold it here. The way we do it, as long as we have those polygons that are active, we stay with weather coverage. And again, at any moment, I fully expect those to go away. So again, what was probably a small tornado came through the extreme northwest part of Marion County. Within the past 30 minutes, the Weather Service posted a tornado warning, which is why we're here. Initially, the circulation near Scottsville, and it moved up toward Pig Eye and Hodges, and then it just weakened. It fell apart. There was a brief time where there was a good TDS, a tornado debris signature, representing the fact that a tornado was down. The Weather Service called it confirmed because of that. But at this point now, we basically have no evidence of any tornado on radar. Having said that, still, we have polygons in effect for extreme northeast Marion County. This includes Hackleburg and Bear Creek. And for the extreme eastern part of Franklin County, this would include the town of Phil Campbell in that US 43 corridor. And again, we're going to give it a few more minutes. And once we lose that southern polygon, that's the one for Marion County, we'll start our 10 o'clock news, and we'll go over to Brenda and Stephen and try and get that all cranked up here. So we apologize for being somewhat disruptive tonight, but sometimes these things do happen. And again, we've probably got some hail falling up in Franklin County, that segment near Phil Campbell. Wouldn't be shocked if we had some small hail falling there, not large hail, but small hail. And again, the lightning is pretty prolific. This thing has produced 97 lightning strikes in that zone there in the past 10 minutes or so. In fact, if you look at the segment that runs up to Huntsville, the lightning count is 188 in the last 10 minutes, which is fairly impressive. But let me animate this, and again, you can kind of see the progression of the storms. We'll go back just 1 hour, and there's a look at the activity rolling into the state from the west. Thunder, lightning, heavy rain, a few embedded circulations. And again, I noticed the Weather Service in Huntsville, they're still keeping the eastern part of Madison County under a tornado warning. I have heard of no damage up that way, but again, I've not been close to a really big source of information up there. We watched a lot of the reports I saw on social media, and again, when I went on the air for this coverage, I did not see any damage up that way. And again, down the line, you can see the storms extending through parts of Lawrence, Franklin, and Marion counties. And we had that little spin-up circulation that was located up in the far northwestern part of Marion County that prompted this. In fact, you can pretty much see that circulation here. In fact, let me back it up. And right there, you can see that hook shows up pretty nicely. That was at 9:59. This is right about the time we went on the air. And that's when we had a possible tornado that came down. In fact, let me put on the correlation coefficient product. And again, you can see that little small green spot right there that's east of Scottsville, north of the dark blue right here. That's when the tornado was down at 10 o'clock. And that's a very good TDS, a tornado debris signature, but that faded very quickly. This was a short-lived spin-up tornado. And again, we'll go to the live display. Let's go to no lapse. And this is the live look. And again, we have no evidence of a tornado being down. Let's go to our velocity products. And again, just no evidence of a tornado, which is certainly good news at this point. So we can celebrate that. But still, as long as we have those polygons flashing, we'll stay with this for just a little while longer. We're hoping that they would cancel it a little before this, but they have not. That warning for Franklin County will go out at 10:30. Now, technically, the warning for Marion runs until 10:45. And again, we'll see if they keep that in there, and we're going to hang with it as long as there's a flashing red polygon. We'll stay with that. So you're watching ABC 3340. And we've been in weather coverage. Typically, we'd be in news coverage this time of the night. But the reason we're here, it's this activity in the northwestern part of the state. Marion County belongs to us, and accordingly,
and Jay, you were wondering if there was any damage, but we have a report from the Marion County Sheriff's Office. There is no damage reported.
So far.
So far, right.
And again, the TDS was in a pretty rural part of Marion County, and typically it's going to take folks a little while to get up there, and there could be I would expect some trees to be down, but the good news, apparently, we've had no damage to any structures so far, which is great. So again, we're kind of zoomed in on Hackleburg and Bear Creek in that northwestern part of, or northeastern part of Marion County, the eastern part of Franklin County up toward Phil Campbell, and so far so good. Again, this is the reflectivity. It's pouring rain in Hackleburg, and there's lightning popping everywhere. 107 lightning strikes in the past 10 minutes, and that line runs up to Phil Campbell. And again, that'll be coming through Bear Creek in a few minutes, and you can probably see the lightning from there, and before you know it, it's going to be pouring rain. But within that large rain area, we're just not seeing any evidence of a tornado at this point. So again, let me back it up one more time, kind of give you a larger view. And again, you can see the location of Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston in relation to the storms up there in northwest Alabama. All of this is about 75, 80 miles northwest of downtown Birmingham. And if you are in Haleyville in Winston County, you're going to deal with heavy rain and a lot of lightning. You probably can see the lightning on the horizon. And again, obviously, you're watching nervously, knowing that you've got tornado warnings just off to the west, but again, over the past 10 to 15 minutes, the tornado signatures have really faded away, and there's just not much evidence of that, which is certainly some great news at this point. And again, we're going to watch the Weather Service chat sessions carefully, and we're going to see if the Weather Service decides to cancel those. And once they do that, again, we'll be able to go back to our newscast if we wind up doing a newscast. Sometimes I never know how they play this over here, so you'll let me know if we're going to do a newscast or not. Sometimes if we talk, Dennis said in the back, we'll do something, and I think that's the right thing to do. Also, we should mention there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Marion County. Again, that's for the possibility of some hail and strong winds with that storm. And again, but that's the velocity, and we just don't see any strong evidence of storm rotation at this point, which is good. That's the reflectivity, heavy rain, maybe some small hail. And there's still an inflow notch you can see that's located right here that's near Phil Campbell. And we'll watch that. Anytime you see a notch like that within a line, you have to kind of watch that. That represents sometimes broad rotation. But again, if you look at the velocity display, there's just not a lot there. Again, very broad, right in through here between Bear Creek and Phil Campbell along Alabama Highway 13. And again, that's the core of that circulation is north of Marion County into the far southern part of Franklin County. And again, that'll be rolling to the northeast. And again, we'll just kind of watch this together. And I would imagine that's the reason maybe they've got this warning still in effect, is for this broad area right in through here. And that would be about halfway between Bear Creek and Phil Campbell, sitting right on the Marion-Franklin County line. And again, that's going to be scooting out of those two polygons quickly. So so the warning is out now for Franklin. It's 10:30 and the warning is expired. So at this point, we have no severe thunder, no tornado warning that's in effect for Franklin County. And the Weather Service in Huntsville has opted not to extend the warning, which I certainly think is the right call based on the radar trends. But we've still got that flashing red polygon for Marion. So again, we're going to hold it here for just a little while longer. And we'll keep it right here. Again, it will be, once we are able to talk to some of the folks up in Huntsville and see some of the reports, we'll check on that. I know a lot of folks have a great interest in that. We've had rotation that moved from Decatur through Madison into Huntsville. Now it's in eastern Madison County up in the Tennessee Valley. And of course, our friends in Huntsville have been dealing with that tonight. But this is the only warning for our part of the state, our DMA, designated market area for Marion County. And again, for the rest of the night, folks often want to know, can I go to bed? Well, if you got a weather radio, you can go to bed anytime you want to, because that thing will wake you up. But I honestly don't think we'll have another warning tonight. Could there be one? Yes. But again, I think the better chance of any additional warning should be north of our TV market, up in the Huntsville market overnight. And even there, after midnight, the threat will be diminishing. Still, having said that, again, if you're just joining us, there is a tornado watch that is in effect for the northern part of Alabama. And that watch is in effect until 2 a.m. The county's in yellow. Technically, as far south as Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Cullman, Marshall, and DeKalb. I think the problem's mainly north of there. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Franklin and Lawrence counties for that storm that is near Phil Campbell. And again, it's not a tornado warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning. And also the Weather Service in Huntsville posting a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Jackson County for the storm coming out of Huntsville. But I think both of those circulations have really weakened, and certainly the one that was over Marion County has weakened rapidly as well. So one more time, there's a look at our velocity display. And again, I just don't have a lot to show you here. You know, sometimes we can show you these tremendous hot spots, tremendous rotation, debris being lofted. We just don't have that right now. There's our debris tracker. There's no debris. There's no tornado signature on radar at all. But heavy rain, absolutely. Lightning, you bet. 113 lightning strikes just in that spot in the last 10 minutes. And again, the warning is in effect until 10:45. And we'll sit with it for maybe just a few more minutes. I was hoping we could get to the newscast a little earlier, but again, I just don't like to get away as long as we have that warning in effect. We got a lot of folks on the news side kind of waiting and wanting to get on the air. And again, the minute we get rid of this, we'll be able to do that. The warning for Franklin is off the board. So no tornado warning for Franklin County. Phil Campbell, you're good. I say you're good. It's pouring rain, and you got thunder and lightning, and it's pretty rough. But again, there's no evidence of any tornado problems there, which is good. And again, for Marion County, technically there is a warning in effect for including places like Hackleburg and Bear Creek. But again, the circulation has weakened tremendously over the past 15 minutes, and we just don't see any big evidence of a tornado at this point. And again, I think the odds of having a tornado warning later tonight would be pretty small at this point, which is a good thing here. And watching some more notes here coming in from the various Weather Service offices. Not seeing any damage reports. Our news department says no damage reported from Marion County, which is a very, very good thing. And we'll certainly take that. And checking to see if we have any additional information coming in. We do not. So that's good news. So again, I wish I could tell you if you're in Hackleburg or Bear Creek, you can get out of the shelter. People are watching us right now wearing their helmets, and they're in the bathtub, and it's a school night. They want to go to bed, and it's gone. All right, tornado warning has been canceled. So let me do the Taylor Sorello X, all right? That's what she likes to do when it's off the board. So all warnings have been canceled. So at this point, we're going to start ABC 3340 News at 10 o'clock, 35 minutes late, but we start right now.
ABC 3340 News starts